Hello, welcome. I'm Kristen from Kristen Cain Style. I'm so glad you're here. I am a style and mindset coach. And for those of you who don't know me, that means that I have all the style stuff. I have worked in closets and fitting rooms for over 20 years. I know how to put together an outfit. I understand fit. I understand proportion. I know the world of style. And I also address this issue of how to get dressed and look and feel amazing every single day from a mindset standpoint. So I work with clients and I show up here not only to give you the fundamentals and the how-tos of what to wear and how to edit your closet and how to shop and all of that, but I feel more importantly how to think about getting dressed and how to understand what you're thinking about getting dressed and how that might be affecting how you actually look and feel in your clothing. And that part of the work is so fascinating to me. I do it with my clients, and I now am trying to share it more here because it really is what it's all about. I can pick outfits for you, and I can help you shop and buy new jeans, and I can edit your closet and organize it and create, looks for you to wear, and we can take photos of them. And at the end of the day, if I haven't addressed what's going on in your thoughts and what those thoughts are making you feel about your clothing and your wardrobe and your budget and your body and your lifestyle, if I haven't addressed what's going on in your mind with regards to your clothing, I haven't done my job. And so style therapy is the way I work one-on-one with clients. If you are interested in learning more, there is a link down below. I offer a 1-hour free consult call where we really get into what this work looks like. It is not difficult. I actually think it's lots of fun. And I just got an email from a client this morning who I worked with last week, and she said the same thing. I can't believe how much fun that was. I was kind of dreading it. I was thinking that I was going to feel judged and overwhelmed by the whole process, and instead it was just fun and liberating. And while we were working together, all she kept saying was, I feel like my shoulders have relaxed, several inches. I just feel so calm when I look in my closet and when I consider getting dressed. And so that work isn't done just by buying more clothing or by editing out what isn't working or by creating new outfits with what you already own. That work includes thinking about what the limiting beliefs are that you have held maybe since childhood about your clothing and about getting dressed and about just your life and yourself in general. The most interesting things come up when I work with clients, and I realize this is kind of off. I haven't even told you what we're talking about today, but I'm going to finish this and then I'll tell you what we're talking about today. When I work with clients, it is so interesting because we don't want to believe we have any limiting beliefs. We don't think that they're calling the shots or affecting our lives or certainly affecting the way we get dressed. And then as I work deeper and we kind of uncover things, well, I feel like if I wear a beautiful blouse, people will think I'm superficial. I feel like if I wear X, people will think X. Well, I'm not tall enough to wear that. And where did we learn this? It's usually in place from a long time ago, oftentimes like the playground or, childhood in our homes or our neighborhoods. And so it can be one comment that really sets the tone for how we show up in our clothing in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And I want to fix that. I want to help women really understand what you think affects how you feel when you get dressed. And if you just pay attention to that, all other areas of your life start to elevate also. Once you do the work in your wardrobe to up level and to show up in a way that feels authentic and fabulous for you, the rising tide lifts all boats, or however it goes. Once you lift one thing, how you do anything is how you do everything. So once you elevate your wardrobe, your whole life changes and elevates. And I don't know, it's just fabulous. It's why I do what I do today. I'm going to get back on track. We're going to talk about intentional style. So I find that, this is a really important, often overlooked element. We get dressed every day and we sometimes don't love our wardrobes, don't love how we look and feel in our clothing. And unless we take the time to be really intentional about what's going wrong, what needs to change, and then changing it, we kind of end up in this loop of, I'm just not loving what I wear. I'm not loving how I look in my clothes or how I feel in my clothes, but I'm not setting an intention to do something different or to create a different outcome. And if I'm not showing up intentionally with getting dressed, then, I'm just left to the default of whatever I grabbed that day, or, by accident, I ended up with a good outfit, but I can't replicate that, in a different way with different pieces. And so, first of all, intention is an aim or a plan, and being intentional is to do something deliberately or on purpose. And so if we look at just that, an aim and a plan, and do it deliberately and on purpose, are you getting dressed with a sense of purpose? Are you choosing your clothing deliberately? Whether it's choosing it from your own closet, or choosing it when you shop, or choosing which pieces to edit out. And when you get dressed, do you have an aim? Is there a plan with regards to how you want to look that day? Or do you have a plan with regards to building a wardrobe that really supports the life that you live? I feel like most people, when they start to dress with more intention, they look first to, okay, I'm going to be intentional when I get dressed today. So where am I going? And maybe what's the weather? What do my clothes need to perform for? Am I running errands? Am I playing with my kids? Am I going on a date? They look to the intention of kind of filling in those blanks. Like, how warm do I need to be? And where am I going? And what am I doing? I really believe that we should start the process of getting dressed with the intention of, how do I want to feel? Like, setting that as the very first thing we consider. How do I want to feel when I get dressed today? Because when we pick our clothing to support that feeling, we can then show up and take the action and create the results that that support that feeling. So if you want to feel confident, if you want to feel cozy, if you want to feel empowered, if you want to feel inspired, whatever those feelings are for you, how you want to show up in your clothing, if you choose the pieces you're going to wear, you're ahead of the game. Like, you're setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up to actually have a day that includes action taken from that place of feeling empowered or inspired or cozy or creative, or whatever they would be. Kind of at a loss for my feeling words right now. I don't think creative is a feeling. Is creative a feeling? It might be. Okay, so you're going to consider where you feel. So you're going to consider how you feel. I feel like style is sometimes a difficult area to be intentional in on some levels, because it doesn't feel that important. Most women feel like they should already have it figured out, because by the time they come in contact with me or with another stylist, they're usually in their 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s. And it seems like, okay, I've been getting dressed for decades. I shouldn't need help with this. I should already have it dialed in. And yet, at any stage, any given day, we can wake up and set an intention to, today, I'm going to really change the way I feel about my clothing and how I look and feel when I get dressed. And here I go. So I think one of the ways to look at this is, what other areas of your life are you already successfully intentional? What areas do you approach with an intentionality that you maybe aren't giving to your wardrobe currently? So it could be something like you're intentional with regards to caring for your plants. You could be intentional with regards to cooking, meals. You could be intentional with the way you show up for your friends or the way you show up for work. And then consider, what thoughts make you intentional? What are you thinking that makes you intentional in those areas? And so I realize this is kind of on the other side of clothing. Now we're talking about plants and cooking and friends and work, but it all relates. And so if you're intentional in the way that you take care of your plants, what's happening in your brain that is making you be intentional? How did you come to that decision? Why are you intentional with your plants? And you could have thoughts like, my plants deserve attention. They're living creatures. They deserve my attention. They look better when I take care of them. And so I like taking care of them. I invested money in them and I want to enjoy them. It's easy for me to grow things. I have a green thumb, so it's not hard for me to have an intention in that area. And then what you can do, which is kind of a weird hack, and I'm not big into hacks of any kind, life or style, but it's sort of a weird hack to take those same thoughts and ideas and kind of superimpose them on the wardrobe situation. So for instance, with the example I just gave, my plants deserve attention. How about my style deserves attention? Or my wardrobe deserves my attention? They look better when I take care of them. I tend to look better when I take care of my clothing, or I look better when I take care of what I am putting on my body. My outfits look better when I take time or I take the care to pay attention to them. I invested in them, so I want to enjoy them. the plants. Well, what about your clothing? I invested in these pieces. I mean, every single woman I work with has a closet full of clothing, and most of it she's not wearing regularly. So I invested in these pieces and I want to enjoy them. Same thought, I invested in these plants and I want to enjoy them. I invested in these pieces and I want to enjoy them. It's easy for me to grow things. I have a green thumb. It's easy for me to get dressed. I have a sense of style. They're the same thoughts. We are just moving them from one area of our life and kind of tricking our brain into thinking, okay, now I can be intentional with my clothing. Because if I just think these same thoughts about my clothing, what would happen? I have an idea that you would get dressed with intention. You would think I spent money on these things, so I want to pay attention to them. I want to take care of them. I feel better when I get dressed in an outfit that I love. My wardrobe deserves my attention. My body deserves my attention. My body deserves clothing that I actually love wearing. However you kind of spin it, see what areas of your life you're already bringing attention to. It could be your workouts. It could be, as I said, showing up for friends, and kind of run through the thoughts of what do you think that make you show up intentionally with your friends or for a workout, and then figure out how to tweak those thoughts a little bit so that they'll drop right into the style situation and see what happens. I have the example, I mentioned I was going to share an example, so I will. For way too long, I struggled with folding laundry. I actually like to do laundry. I would have the issue of doing a whole lot of laundry in one day and not taking the time to fold it. And so then I would have 5, 6 laundry baskets at the end of the hallway in our upstairs, unfolded, kind of stacked. We used to joke that if they stacked there long enough, when I went to dump them out on the bed or wherever I was going to fold them, they created a laundry loaf. So they had been packed so tightly that there was no air and no space. And when I dumped it out, it was literally like coming out of a loaf pan, pile of laundry, a loaf of laundry. And over this past summer, I got so sick of myself with regards to this laundry. And I thought, there has to be a different way to look at this. And so I looked at other areas where I was not feeling the way I was about the laundry and considered the thoughts that I was thinking about those things. And could I put those with the laundry? So I keep this little note card with me because once I did this, it was sort of like magic, and I realized that I could kind of put these thoughts on anything and it would change the way I thought about them. So it's not about my worth, it's about my peace. So I'm not worth less because I'm not folding the laundry, but my peace is worth something, and I want the peace of knowing that I don't have to look at the laundry pile when I come up the steps. So it's not about my worth, it's about my peace. It doesn't actually take much time. What I found is that once I actually started to fold the laundry at the earliest possible moment that I could, whether that was right out of the dryer or whether it was a couple hours later, if I folded it right away, it didn't actually take as much time as folding 6 loads that had been compacted and wrinkled into the laundry baskets, and it just created a different ease. I feel so much better after it's done. Super simple. Like it's that easy. If I think the thought, I feel so much better after it's done. It's much easier for me to fold the laundry. What if I tried a new way? So with regards to taking a thought from a different situation and dropping it into the laundry, I considered, what if I tried it a new way? What if I tried to fold the laundry at the first possible opportunity instead of letting it sit there and fester and bug me in my mind and be at the top of the steps? I don't need to make this more difficult. How can I make this easier? Same thing. Like I was making it more difficult by all the things I was thinking about the laundry pile at the end of the hallway. Once I realized, how can I make this easier? I realized I can pause what I'm doing and spend literally 5 minutes and fold the basket as soon as I can. This feels better with less drama. I'm 100% capable of change in areas where I feel stuck. This feels comfortable with less drama. The drama was all in my mind. I was creating all these stories of not being worthy and being a terrible mother and a terrible housekeeper and a terrible wife because I wasn't folding the laundry on time. I asked my family about this. None of them care. They don't love digging for their workout clothes if I haven't folded them, but they don't care. And they're all old enough that they're capable of folding their own laundry. So if it really bugged them, they could have handled their own. I like to do laundry. I was not liking it because I had turned it into this big giant mess, and that mess came with lots of drama. Once I realized that it didn't have to have the drama, I could drop that and I could just have it be, I'm going to fold the laundry now. I'm going to do the laundry now. It became a completely different situation. And I'm 100% capable of change in the areas that I'm stuck or the areas that bug me. With regards to your style, you are 100% capable of changing that area if you're feeling stuck. Doesn't mean you have to buy a single thing. I promise you that even just using what is in your closet and being more intentional about it, really deciding what that intentionality would look like for you. I like the method of finding a different area where you're already intentional and using those same thoughts as kind of tools to guide you into a new set of behaviors with regards to your clothing, whatever that looks like in your world. But try it, because being intentional and really deciding what you're going to wear and why you're going to wear it and have it based on how you want to feel and how you want to show up in the world creates a ripple effect. Once that begins to change, you just show up differently because you feel better in what you have on your body, and you've removed the drama of this wardrobe that is kind of causing all your problems by getting in there intentionally and figuring out how to solve them. And I'm just going to mention a few ways that you can be more intentional. The first one that comes to mind is time. Most women are rushed when they get dressed. And when you're rushed when you get dressed, you tend to go with the easiest thing, which is often that lazy go-to that doesn't really look all that great, but it's right on the top of the pile. You know it fits, you know it functions, and so you grab that and go. And you have a little bit of guilt because you're not actually doing the work to wear anything else in your closet. And if you allow a little bit of time, if you are intentional with the amount of time that you give yourself to get dressed, whether it's the night before, whether it's the weekend before, whether it's the morning of, if you are a little more intentional with your time and you give yourself a little bit of time to choose an item with more intention or choose an outfit with more intention, it goes a long way. The next way you can be more intentional is to take one piece that you actually love and you're not wearing very much and build outfits from that one piece. Intentionally choose a piece you love every morning or the next time you get dressed and see how that changes how you feel in your clothing. You can intentionally decide that style matters to you, that it's not frivolous and it's not shallow to care about how you look and feel in your clothing. There's a full spectrum of different ways to approach clothing and different attitudes to have about it and different methods of getting dressed and different budgets for shopping and all of that. All you need to do is decide that style is important and that you are going to face it with some intentionality and see what happens. The other way you can be intentional about your style is to stop shopping. Take a bit of a shopping pause or a shopping break until you get in your wardrobe and really see what's missing, what you have too much of, what you don't have enough of, what you wish you could add. So many of us shop without any intention, and I feel that if we can put a pause on the shopping and get in the wardrobe first, it's like shopping for a meal plan without checking your pantry and your refrigerator. You end up with a whole lot of extra things and not the things you actually need. And so I would look at the intention, kind of creating intention around your wardrobe as an opportunity to stop shopping for a little bit and really get in your closet and see what's in there. Get to a place where you can create that meal plan, where you can really know, okay, if I want to get dressed every day with intention, I'm actually missing some pieces. And if I want to get dressed with intention every day, I actually have way too much of this and I need to edit this out. I just think that pausing the shopping kind of forces us to get in the closet and pay attention to what's in there, because in most cases there's already plenty. And that doesn't mean there might not be pieces missing. It just means that before you shop, I like the idea of being intentional about not shopping and using what you've already got. All right, that's what I've got for today on being intentional when you get dressed. Even a tiny little bit of intentionality, like making sure you put on earrings or that you actually have a pair of shoes on that complete the outfit, just one little touch of being intentional when you get dressed can really change the way you look and feel in your clothing, and therefore kind of change your whole life. Let's see what else. I am on Instagram every Tuesday at noon Mountain Time doing a live style Q&A. If you want to join me over there, it's at Kristen Cain Style. I would love to have you. I will be back next Friday with a new video. If you would like any information about style therapy, the link is down below. I offer a free 1-hour consultation where we go through the whole process. I can really address what's happening in your wardrobe based on some information that you share with me and an exercise we go through, so that we can decide if we're a good fit and if style therapy would solve your style struggles. My guess is it would. I've done this work with a lot of women and received a lot of good feedback that is changing their lives. I love that. I'm honored to do it. So that's it for today. I hope you have a really beautiful day and a really wonderful week, and I'll be back next Friday. Thanks so much.